What's going on, Master Duel fans? James Polk here. At the time recording of this video is getting posted, for today's tech talk, I want to discuss you guys in regards to what goes on for King of the Island. Now, since my main priority deck for that event happens to be insects, I happen to come across this specific tech card that every insect player should run in case if they were to come across something like this. And that spicy tech is Retaliating C. When I first saw this card for the upcoming King of the Island, or in current progress of King of the Island, I literally said to myself, okay, I instantly fell in love with this insect because the way how the complexion of the King of the Island game's going involving this card, it is absolutely absurd if you can pull this off. So, when it comes to Retaliating C, Earth Insect, 1400 both ways. And when it comes to Retaliating C, when your opponent activates a spell card that involves Special Summon in it, as a quick effect, free special from the hand, and if summoned this way, it gains the supernatural effect. While this card is face up on the field, any card sent to the graveyard ends up banished instead. And on top of that, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, add one Earth Insect with 1500 or less attack from deck to hand. That isn't Retaliating C. Now, why is this card a specific tech card to talk about? Well, okay, the context of the first effect, where whenever a spell is being played, your Retaliating C is now a macrocosmos. So, based on the description on how some decks that can be seen based off from what goes on, I already know there are more decks out there in King of the Island than this particular list. So obviously, again, just want to throw out some examples the way how those decks work. So when it comes to King of the Island involving Retaliating C, something like against the example of Fire Kings, when they play Onslaught of the Fire Kings, you chain the Retaliating C so that not only you get the special summon out of it, but if it's one of those higher monsters that they don't summon on the turn this happens, any beast warrior, or winged beast that is a fire is actually going to end up banished instead. So the idea is, if they go first, no, it's not going first. Again, sorry about that, peoples. It's more like a go second card. So if they go second, and assuming that if they don't put out Sacred Phoenix or Fire King High Avatar Garunix in terms of going second, if they don't get rid of Retaliating C, unless if for some reason they hard drew the card, anything that they are going to destroy ends up outright banished. That means your high Avatar Garunixes, Nethys, the small Garunixes, as well as Barong, Yaksha, and Avatars, in terms of the Fire Kings being banished. And this will outright wreck by a bug. And then when it comes to multiple type variants, aside from the Fire King issues, you also have reptiles in the event. So when they activate something like Ogdoadic Water Lily, because the card text has the words special summon in it, you can chain Retaliating C just so that your Nayas, Nunu, Ogdoabyss, Amnesia, Aaron, Alarit, Curse, Zoa, and Flogos, all Ogdoadic monsters, ends up banished. What that also means is, while Retaliating Sea is on the field, they best not to play the spell called Snake Rain, which obviously foolishes for reptiles to the graveyard normally, but Retaliating Sea is there. Technically, that's more of a illegal activation because the card text of Snake Rain says it has to get sent to the graveyard, but since a spell was played so that Retaliating Sea gets summoned, they won't be able to send anything from dead to graveyard. And that outright cancels with the likes of Venomenon and Venomenaga in terms of the attack boosting for having that many reptiles in graveyard. And that outright kills Evil Dragon Ananta in terms of not being able to summon the card because you don't have no reptiles in graveyard. Now, winged beasts in general, Lyrilusks, if they happen to play Bird Call, you chain Retaliating Sea so that all of your Lyrilusk pieces, when it comes to a well-timing Solemn Judgment or Solemn Strike or something simple in any game state, if you somehow manage to do a well-timing removal without targeting with the likes of Cobalt Sparrow, all of the materials as well as the Xyz summoned Lyrilusk ends up removed in any shape or form if you manage to know how to spot removal it properly. And then in any insect matches, if they play Bee Trooper, for example, with the likes of Bee Trooper Landing, Bee Trooper Descent, or even Worm Bait, chain Retaliating Sea so that in any shape or form, when it comes to Bee Trooper Landing specifically, you chain this, and if they only have the absolute Hercules route, the fusion that says it's unaffected by everything else, all of your insects are basically going to be banished as part of the material. Sure, they got something like Resonance Insect in terms of banish effect to Foolish Burial a Insect, but that takes too much commitment for the opponent to lose all of their insects because of this card standalone. And last but not least, Swallow's Nest. When it comes to Swallow's Nest, winged beast monsters in general, they best be in trouble when it comes to the same level as the ones being tributed. So, same level, yet winged beast. So that means High Avatar Garunix or Sacred Phoenix, one of those two will be banished because of Retaliating Sea. Harpy ladies, they are level 4. All harpies will be banished. Same goes for Black Wings, Lyrilusks, and so on. And again, I already know there are more special summon cards involving the types listed on it. And I already know I was supposed to be doing in-depth coverage of beasts, beast warriors in any shape or form, if any. Not counting the Fire King shtick and all that. But otherwise... oh, almost forgot. When it comes to Retaliating Sea's other effect, where it searches a Earth insect within 1500 or less attack, I believe there's plenty applications doing this. So, Earth, and then insect, and then it has to be within 1500 or less attack, if not too much else. So you have like multiple targets listed in terms of 1500 attack, starting with the normal monster right there. So, list of targets in terms of really good targets depends on the dex. So, aside from the usual shtick of the cockroach cards, aside from contact, sneaky, maxi, all that good stuff, you also have trap tricks with the likes of Mantis, Arachnocampa in terms of searching and extender for the follow-ups. You also got crawlers, infinite antlions, resident insect, of course, the spicy Gale Dogra for some shenanigans of sorts, and then for the synchro events, which doesn't count, shiny Black Sea again doesn't count. So, but yeah, again, you have like multiple targets, and of course, as mentioned, Maxi. So let me know in the comments below of what you guys think of Retaliating C in this event. For those who are using the card in this event, let me know how it feels to banish the opponent's cards. Sure, the Macrocosmos effect applies to you, but if you know how to use the application of Retaliating C right, then you should be in a pretty good spot. So, once again, this is James Polk. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you haven't already, smash the notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated. And we'll catch you guys next time.